Hi guys, so I am doing my top reads of 2020 today, and unfortunately I don't own two of them, so I won't be able to show you those books physically, but I have a whole pile here that I do own. So I am not doing them in any particular order because they're all 5-star reads. I think I had about 30 5-star reads overall, but I've narrowed it down to 11 that I really liked. So the two that I don't have with me are Mexican Gothic, which was absolutely fantastic Gothic horror. I really enjoyed it. And the other was The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Really liked that too. That was a really sweet, cute book. And I guess we're going to move on to the ones I do own. So I guess let's get started with this one. In the Holidays by Christina Lauren. I've had hit and miss with their books before, but I actually ended up really liking this one in particular. It was really cute. Apparently it's sort of like Groundhog Day. I've never seen the movie, so I can't really comment on it. But I did see the X-Files and the Supernatural episode in which they repeat the same day multiple times in different ways and death. So definitely really enjoyed this one. This one was fun. And I guess the next book that I'm going to pull out of this is From Blood and Ash. This was the first book I ever read by this author. I got addicted and then spent the next couple months reading as much of her catalog as I could get my hands on. I still have a couple more books I need to buy by her that I can't find at the library. So that's Wicked, and then the rest of Luke's books. I'm probably mispronouncing his name, but anyways, this book was so fantastic. And the next book was a 5-star read for me as well. But absolutely loved this book. I am so excited for the third book that's coming out in April. I don't think I can wait until then. But yes, so this was super fantastic. It had everything I really love in a book. And it was just well written. I really enjoyed it. Okay. Everyone knows I love Carrie Maniscalco, and this book was no exception. I really loved this book. It held my interest. It was awesome. I really liked the characters. It was just good. It was a fun read, and I just can't wait for the other book that's supposed to come out. Honestly, it's just also a very beautiful book. I really like it. But it was pretty much, again, darker. Seems to have been my more of a interest this year, looking at all the books I've got in my pile here. Okay. Alright. The Priory of the Orange Tree. I read this last year, and I liked it. I reread it again this year, and I still really liked it. It's still a really amazing book. It is, let's see, 800 some odd pages of pure goodness. It is also supremely heavy, but this is like the epic high fantasy that I really love. It reminds me a lot of George R.R. Martin, except with feminism. I really like this one. This was an excellent book. A debut book, A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, was really enjoyable. I thought it was really great world building in here. And again, I was very impressed with it. I thought it was eye-catching because it really kept your interest, and you can't help but be rooting for these characters. Again, it's like enemies to lovers, which is pretty much my entire, that's pretty much my entire 5-star reads this year. But Brown does a fantastic job with this book. Honestly, if you haven't read it yet, please go read it. It's absolutely brilliant. A River of Royal Blood. Again, this was so fantastically written. Amanda Joy just, I don't know. She just made me love this world that these girls are in. And I really liked the magic system in here. I know the next book is supposed to come out at some point. But it has Fae in it. So, you know, who wouldn't want to read this book? I do. It's such a creative take on myth and the Fae and just everything else. I recommend it. I highly recommend it. Yeah, this book was fantastic. It's got tattoos. The next book on my list is House of Earth and Blood. Yes, I did paint the edges myself. But this book, much like the rest of Moss's books, can be very hit or miss at some points because there was like 400 pages of getting to the main part of the book. And this is the first book in the series, so I assume there's going to be a little bit less of that in the next book. But I really liked Bryce and I really liked Hunt. And while I will say she has kind of reused the same plots from like Rowan and Reese, and it's like an amalgamation of those two guys, and Bryce is kind of an amalgamation of Aelin and Farah. I'm still excited for the next book in the series because it's really epic fantasy, and I don't know what they call it anymore. It's not technically called urban fantasy anymore, I don't think. Paranormal fantasy. I feel like it falls more along those lines than it does traditional fantasy. But it's fantasy that takes place in a city. It's kind of like more like our real world, like a city, like more like ours. I don't know. It's different. It's very different. And this is the type of book I would have used to read all the time, and I kind of fell out of reading them. So this kind of made me realize how much I actually still do like those types of books. And then Addie LaRue, which needs no introduction. I do have the Owl Crate Special Edition. It's very lovely. This book was very much to me, I think one of my favorites, or is probably my favorite that she has written. It was just such a slow build, so fantastically plotted and written, and it's just almost indescribable how good it is. You really kind of love the characters in here. And you really love Addie, and you feel for her, and you get Henry, and it's just a very sweet how Addie is just, you know, she wants to have her life. I don't know. I just thought it was really, it had some moments in here that made you really think. And I guess I did kind of, I don't know, from Blood and Ash and this book may be tied for my favorite book of the year. This next book I'm introducing. But I really don't think I could pick one because this one left me with an enormous book hangover for days. I did not want to read anything else, and I'm gonna have to wait again until the spring to read the next book in the series. It's the third book. I don't know what it is, but the third book's coming out, or like, anyways, Crush. I really liked Crave. Crush just like blew me away. This or From Blood and Ash are probably my favorite two books of the year. Yeah, they both give me extraordinary book hangers, especially this one. Wolf just like put everything I could have ever wanted into this book. Again, enemies to lovers, all that fun stuff. I mean, I literally cannot describe to you how much fun and tropey and just fun this book was. And I really needed to read something fun, and it was just fun. Really, it was so fun. I mean, that's all I can say. I mean, it's not like it's any, like if you think of every single YA book there's in existence, and then you shove it into one book or series, that's what you get with this. And it's just great because it kind of makes fun of itself, it pokes at itself, and it just, And Crave did that too, and Crush does that, but does it a little bit less. This one gets a little bit more serious and gets its own little line. But I highly recommend this series. It's really fun. Anyways, so those are my top books of the year. I've read over 400, and I had to narrow it down to, I was going to try and do 5. That didn't work. I was going to narrow it down to 10, and then I had 11. I'm like, we're just going with 11. Because I can't pick of those, aside from Blood and Ash and Crush, really, who were my top 2, and then I couldn't figure out, well, the other 3 or the other 8 be. Because there's so many of them were just so equal in their goodness, and it was just, you know, you hit them at that, have to read things in the right mood, and that's what I am. I'm a mood reader, and so all those just hit the right notes for me at the right time, and it's happened before. But yeah, so top 11 books of the year: Mexican Gothic, House in the Cerulean Sea, House of Earth and Blood, A River of Royal Blood, A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, Priory of Arnetry, Kingdom of the Wicked, From Blood and Ash, and Holidays, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and Crush. Those were my top books of the year. Let me know what you thought your top books of the year were. Do we share any favorites? Do you have any comments about the books I read you want to talk about? Because some of them are really good. I can't recommend them enough. All of those books were absolutely fantastic this year. And I can't wait to share with you my most anticipated reads, which will be the video after this one.